Hey everyone, Zaraz here, Not Casuals, today bringing you another Age of Apes video sponsored by Age of Apes, where I'm going to be talking about the two newest characters that have been introduced in the game. The first one is Shawn, and the second one is Electro. Now, as you can see, these characters look very awesome, and they are legendary characters, so they are going to be obtainable in pretty special ways. So in this video, I'm going to cover how their abilities work, what they look like on the field, their animation, a little bit of tips and tricks on what they do best, as well as how to get them. So the first character I'm going to talk about today is going to be Shawn. Now, this guy obviously looks pretty awesome and has some pretty cool animation. And he has a special thing where he has a pet robot kind of dog where he will be using him to attack on the field. Now, we'll go over his skills quite quickly. So his first ability will be to summon his dog buddy, and it will be a damage factor ability. So he will be doing a certain amount of damage when his energy is full, and then he will have a continuous damage that happens for 2 seconds. So very good skill damage based ability. Now the second ability will be boosting the shooter's health by up to 25%, as well as there will be a skill damage increase that will be applied for him. So as we saw, his first ability is skill damage, so this is very good for that. Now, this means that when the number of troops led by him is less than 50%, there is a 20% chance that he will gain this increased skill damage for up to 20%. Now, the third ability will be a passive that will make it so that shooters led by him are increasing their defense by up to 20% again. And after releasing a skill, again, there's a 50% chance to deal bonus damage of up to 500 and to prevent enemies from releasing their own active skills for 2 seconds. So again, another shooter boosting ability that also can do damage and can prevent enemies from attacking. So very, very good debuff as well as a buff for attack and shooters. Now, lastly, the last ability will be again something about shooters. So this character is obviously a very strong shooter army leader, and it will make it so that when troops led by him are only shooters, they gain a percentage of increased attack that goes up to 20%. And in addition, there's a 20% chance to restore rage and gain an attack boost for the army. So you can restore a lot of rage and get a lot of attack boost up to 30%. So all in all, this is obviously a shooter leader. So when you are using this character, you want to use the shooter unit type, which is the ranged unit. And as you can see in his talent, there's the shooter talent tree, there's a balance talent tree that is good for like kind of everything, and there's a skill talent tree that will make it so that it boosts the skill damage, such as the first ability and the one that we saw here that has a little bit of damage as well. So this character will be a full-on shooter, maybe a little bit of skill, maybe a little bit of balance, but I would recommend the shooter route because that is where he will perform at his best. Now, for his talents, they're pretty much the basics of these trees, but the skill when you unlock the full talent tree are pretty good. Now, the first one here for the shooter tree will be that the normal attacks of troops have a 20% chance to gain 20% increased healing. So this will make it so that he is able to provide more healing for his army when they attack. So this can be good when paired with good healing characters as secondary heroes. Now, the other talent will be from the balanced skill tree. This will make it so that they increase the army capacity by 2% up to 10%, of course, and the skill damage by up to 10%. So this can be very good to have a bigger army and do more damage in general with the skills. But again, this is not shooter specific. This is for literally any kind of troops. And the last ability will be for the skill talent tree. Now, this is pretty special because it boosts the shooters specifically against hitters. So shooters counter hitters in this game, and whenever a skill is released, there's also a 50% chance to prevent enemy attack for 2 seconds. So this paired with this other ability here, which prevent them active skills, can make it so that you disable enemies quite hard. So this is a very, very strong character, of course. So this character will most likely become one of the best shooter leader for Age of Apes. Now, if we go into the field, you will see that I have prepared a small army with this character. Now, I'm on the test server, so of course, this is not my main account. This is just for showcasing it. So this is what he looks like, and I have an army of shooters with him. And if we go and attack this white mutant, we will see a little bit of what the ability look like. So you can see that obviously he's shooting a gun with his army. And then when this bar fills up, which is basically the energy bar, this is when he's going to do his special attack where he sends his dog to attack and does extra damage. As you can see, he's doing a pretty good job at killing these mutant monkeys with his pretty cool kit and boosting the shooters as well, even though he's still pretty low level and not very refined yet because this is again a test account. It will make it very strong in the late game, I am sure. As of now, this character is not obtainable from anywhere in the game. It is very new, so it will probably be coming through an event that will be launching shortly to allow you to unlock this character. Now next, we have Electro, which is the second character that has just released in the new update. Now this one is very similar to Shawn, except that he is going to be hitter focused, so he will be focusing on the melee unit type of Age of Apes. Now if we go and look at his skills, his first skill again is going to be a high damage factor ability, which is very great, and also can reduce the enemy marching speed for 5 seconds, which is obviously very, very good if you're attacking in the open field and chasing enemies, which basically slows them so you can keep killing them. Now the next ability will be a hitter ability. So again, he is going to be focusing on boosting hitter units. Now hitters led by this fighter have up to 15% extra health, and when the army is less than 50% strength, their normal attack taken is reduced by up to 10%. So you take less damage when you are weaker in power. Now next, side effects, the third ability, it is going to be again boosting hitters' defense by up to 15%, as well as reducing the skill damage taken by this army by up to 15% as well. Now this is a very, very powerful ability because skill damage is a big part of the damage in this game. So this character looks like he's going to be a very, very powerful character for every player. Now lastly, the last ability for this character again is absolutely amazing and will be focusing on hitters. Now first, they will be gaining up to 20% just attack increase as a buff. In addition, when his army will release normal attack, there is a 10% chance that they will gain 6% increased kill damage and reduce the enemy marching speed by 10%. Now this can go up to 30% and 50%. So basically, you can do more damage and slow the enemy even more on top of the first ability that also slowed enemy. So this is going to be an open field character that will be very, very, very brutal at killing enemies and not letting them run away. Now, as far as his talents, again, hitters is going to be focusing heavily on leading hitters. Now balance is again the same thing where it doesn't excel at anything, but it's just good in general. And the last ability is going to be speed. Now this is going to make it so that he moves faster and slows down enemy, which goes well with his kit. It is basically open field focus for PvP. Now for the hitter tree talent, this will make it so that when the army led by this guy will be less than 50% health, all troops will gain increased counterattack damage and reduce counterattack damage taken. So this will be really good when you're fighting against other players and your army gets a bit weaker, then you will take less damage and you will be doing more damage to them in retaliation. So again, a very powerful ability. Next, the one from the balance tree will make it so that he takes 2% less damage from enemies that are slowed, so up to 10% less damage. So obviously he slows a lot, so this is going to be a very, very powerful ability to take less damage. And lastly, in the speed tree, we will have this talent. Now this makes it so that when he is either the first or the second fighter, all troops will gain 6% increased health and 4% increased defense for 15 seconds whenever enemies are defeated. So what does that mean is that when you kill an enemy, whether it be a player or a mutant, you will gain a buff up to 30% extra health and 20% extra defense. So this means that you can fight enemies, and when you defeat them, you get stronger for the next fight, and so on. Now here is what he looks like in the field. Of course, I put him with an army of hitters because that is what he specializes in. And if we go over here and attack a little bit of a group of white mutants, we will see his animation. Now again, he is going to be very, very performing into the open field like this. So when you fight enemies like this, you can bounce from one enemy to the other and gain the buffs, and as well as gain movement speed or reduce their movement speed so you can keep chasing them. And as you can see there, boom, speed down, there's an animation, and now this enemy, of course, if he were to run away, would be very much slowed and would be not able to run away while we would be hitting him like crazy. So, and it seems like he is regenerating rage quite quickly, and he is doing this ability quite often, which means that it will be very hard to get away from him once engaged in combat against him. Now, in order to unlock this character, there is a Wheel of Fortune event that will happen in the early time of the server. So you can see it right here. Now, this is where you can unlock him. His medals are on this wheel. You're going to get 1, 3, 5, or 8 medals. And if you look here at these little chests, by rolling a certain amount of time on this wheel, you will unlock some of the medals as well as other stuff that will help increase his level, up to 15 medal total. So this is going to be 30 medal in the entire thing. Now, in order to roll on the Wheel of Fortune, you will obviously need CDs. Now, there's a lot of ways of getting CDs in this game for free, but as well, if you are a paying player, you will be getting a lot of CDs that you can use into this. So I would recommend that you save your CDs at the beginning of a new server, because this will be a very, very strong character that you will most likely want to get as soon as the wheel comes, so try and save up enough CD to at least unlock him. If you can roll up to 80 times, you will get a very strong character with boosted abilities on top of it all. So guys, that's about it for my video showcasing these 2 new characters. Again, if you want to download this game and try it out, the link will be in the description of this video, as well as there is still a little bit of time left on redeeming the promo code that will get you up to $100 worth of reward in the game for your new account if you are interested. Thank you guys for watching, and I'll see you on the next video.